Good evening everybody and welcome along to Inside Line Racing. This is ILR3 on the Xbox side and I am joined by the lovely Jack. Hello Jack.
It's my first time commentating ILR3 this season, but I've been an ILR2 for the past couple of races to fill in. But a grid of 20 is the second time I've ever seen it in an F1 game, so good going.
Yeah, that is pretty good. The turnout has been pretty much on the 19-20 for pretty much the first few races, so it shows that the drivers are very committed as well, and we've had two good races as well, so we should be in for a good one. And most of the races I've seen or take part in China recently, it's been wet weather. Don't see any wet weather on track at the moment, so you never know what could happen here. So we're just about to get ready for qualifying.
Yeah, I think China's been one of the, well, if any track is going to rain, from my experience in league racing, China's rained the most out of any circuit I've ever raced on. So if you're looking for wet racing, stick around for this. We might yet see some. If not in qualifying, because it's almost completely clear sky, you won't see rain here. But in the race, it should be interesting.
Yeah, as we've got 20 drivers out on circuit with a few mixture of tyres, as we've got a lot of people on the softs and a few people on the hards as well. I don't see anyone on the mediums, so this could be a hint that we see a wet race. We'll have to wait and see, but we just got a few changes before we kick off. Ginger Ninja, last week's race winner, he's been moved up to tier 2 because of how fast he is, because there was guys in tier 1 that dropped out. So the guys from the two guys from the top guys in tier 2 moved up to tier 1, and the top guy from tier 3 moved up to tier 2. So we kind of had to make up the numbers, and luckily we've had a reserve that was been racing since the very start, and Cinema Rage has taken Ginger Ninja's place in the Mercedes. So we'll have to wait and see how he fares. And Jamie, he's a reserve driver, he's filling in for someone on each check. I think he's filling in for the Racing Point.
Oh, that's a Ferrari of Blazer Guns round out of the snail chicane. I think that's got to be down to cold tyres, because he's not on an outlet. I just don't think he warmed up his tyres enough for him to complete a decent lap. And he's just completely Vettel'd it out of turn 4. Yeah,
that is not where you want to be. Like Vettel did a famous bit in Germany, but we don't want to be like that. But and I do believe Lepper is filling in for the McLaren as well. So I think we got 2 reserves. At least we got a full grid, so it's all good. And there's a yellow flag in sector 2. There's probably people moving out of the way. LCR Ben, who is currently on a lap at the moment, he's leading the race. He's leading the championship at the moment. As he's won the first race, and I think it was P4 or 5 in the second race. So he's shown as very consistent, but the first person to set a lap time is last week's third place Jack with a 1:36.7. So we see massive improvements already for some of the guys who were in tier 3 last season and are challenging for the top guys as well.
Yeah, I would have thought those times would come down by a lot, because obviously the track hasn't rubbered it. Yeah, we're already seeing that. I mean, well, I know he is on the soft tyres, but that's over 3 seconds. The hards aren't that slow. It's just warm-up issues at the moment and rubbering issues. Track's nowhere near its optimum point yet. And I think if you do end up qualifying on the soft and starting on them, that's pretty much a definite 2-stop, unless you want to risk having punches later in the race with a 1-stop. Maybe soft to hards, some tracks is viable. I saw some people do that around Brazil in a league race the other day. Although a couple of them got punctures by the end. It was literally just down by how well you actually managed it. So that actually really does matter in this game. But there is, I think that's a Toro Rosso of Cheesy Dreams in a P1. I had to do a double take then on to pronounce his name. Sorry about that.
And you said it right, so it's all good.
Okay.
So, yeah, as I think he is, he's on the fly at the moment as he just goes past the long left-hander going into the next DRS straight. I do believe there's 2 in total, one going into turn 1 on the start red straight and 1 in turn 15. So there's not many chances for them to get the DRS right. All they got to rely on is slipstream really, and that's what Cheesy Dreams will have to do. Interestingly, he's on another lap on the softs anyway. I thought he would go and dive into the pits, but yep, he is doing that. So he's just his ERS was on 5 pretty much the whole time. As Joker's out, he's not longer going to set a time. What happened there?
Sector
Did you see
2
that?
yellow.
There must be Sector 2 then.
I was looking at laps. I saw him go through Sector 1 just fine. Hopefully now we actually get to see where their cars are. Because that was one of my big... Yes, we are. It's on the exit of turn 6. He's gone round and hit the inside wall of that corner, just on the inside of the hairpin. So at least we can actually see where the damage is now. And I think the biggest error I've seen consistent with most of the drivers is how wide some of them are going through the fast 7 and 8 corners. They'll hug the curb on turn 7 so tightly that they'll sort of be carrying too much speed for turn 8. By the time they get there, they won't be able to slow down enough, and they can't turn in enough for turn 8, and they'll just end up going wider and wider and wider, and then again that'll make it even worse again for turn 9, which is a hairpin corner. So I think just a little bit easier around turn 7 could make your lap quite a bit faster.
And it is hard in the rain, turn 7, and they got to brake a bit early if they do end up to go on the mediums. And I do believe Blazer Guns is another person that's going to, I think he's the only one to go on a set the medium tyres as well. So he's going to try his best to improve on his lap time as well. And another guy that I've seen do well last week, he did provide a short performance. It was Hamilton with his pretty much his first podium with no line on, and he kind of shocked himself. And he's currently 11th at the moment. I'm still going to put in quite low expectations because he's not too good around this track with no line. He's only had one practice in career mode as far as I'm aware. So I wonder how is he going to do around him. Maybe he could shock himself again. His edited form's going to come across the line. As I think, he just set a banker up at the moment. As we just seen a Racing Point going to the pits. And there's only a few people at the pits at the moment. So the drivers are going to come with a lot of traffic.
Yeah, not too many on out laps at the moment. Most of them are on flying laps. I wouldn't have thought traffic would be too bad right now. I think there's only 3 people on an out lap. Everybody else on flyers. I'm going to try and keep up with some of them. I'm going on board with Dazlad at the moment, who's currently going through turn 8. See if he's been listening. And yeah, he does hug the inside curve of turn 8 much better than I've seen some people doing, rather than drifting wide and completely compromising their entry and exit on turn 8. Out of turn 10, he gets a big slide coming into turn 11. Street Gamer gets out of the way nicely in the Haas. Overall, for the feel of the cars in this game, I've heard that the Haas and the Red Bull actually feel the worst because they feel so heavy compared to some of the other cars.
Yes.
And I'm not too sure what the best is, but I've heard positive things about both the Racing Point and the Alpha. So they probably feel the most nimble out of everybody. And it was really rather the opposite in the last game.
I think that's why Hamilton and Stewart have gone for the Alpha, I think, due to that. But anyway, as we're still running on board with Dazlad, he comes towards the final corner now. He just about kisses that right apex, just about. What? And P2. Wow. So he comes across the line, P2 on the hards as well. That's pretty decent. He was another one that put off a very good performance in Bahrain, where I believe he either got P2 or P3. I can't remember where, but I think it was either Jack that got the final or the second place. So Dazlad is doing well for this Xbox 2 anyway. He didn't have a good race out in Australia, but he had a very good race in Bahrain. So he could be one to watch out for in terms of battles as well. So, yeah.
I think Steerage just had a really shaky lap on his first one. We won 35.4 on the softs. I think he's going to have to go again. What tyre is he on? He's on the hards.
Yeah.
I keep, every now and again, I call them the mediums, even though I know they're not. But if he gets them heated up, he can definitely get some pace out of them. I mean, pretty much out of the top 10, 8 of them are on hards. Albeit, I don't think many people have actually run the mediums yet. I think they may be saving them till the end of the session, and that's ILR3 Button has left the session. Oh, I think I know what that is. He did put in a chat a minute ago that he did have no game sound. So he's probably going to come back in a minute. Hopefully that's actually come back for him. As Dreams goes even faster on the softs with 132.1. That's around a 2/10 improvement. So that's pretty decent. Only 4/10 ahead of the hard tyres though.
Yeah. I have seen people on the softs go to a 131, so if he can get that in the qualifying, that'll be pretty decent. But I'm almost certain he's probably going to do a 2-stop unless if there's any wet weather. But we don't see any complaints in the Twitter chat about the rain, so I don't think we're going to get rain here, even though China is more of a chance of rain, so I'm pretty shocked about that outcome. But anyway, cheese juice will probably have to do soft mediums to mediums, just like in Bahrain. We've got yellow flag in sector 1, but that's just people slowing down. This game giving me a
people getting out of the way.
Yeah, that's what I don't like on this game. But anyway, 6 minutes left to go, and pretty much qualifying doesn't properly start until it gets to about 3 minutes left of qualifying. So we could see more people getting on softer tyres pretty soon, just like Ben and Dragon Charlie are doing.
Yeah, ILR3 Hamilton going through turn 8 again, hugging that inside line. That is probably... It's a mistake, but loads of people don't realise that they make it. And once they do start hugging that inside line, they realise how much faster they can get. I know it's only 1 or 2 tenths, but in qualifying that can make all the difference. Although that's already the case in the moment, because Dreams is 4 tenths ahead of anybody else, albeit on the soft tyre. There's yellows popping up everywhere, although that is probably due to the big mixture of people on flying laps and out laps. Although most people are in the pits at the moment, Hamilton tries to go in the slipstream with Dazzler, who actually goes on the grass to try and get out of the way and doesn't give him any slipstream, or tries not to. Into the hairpin, brakes around the 100-metre board, exactly right. Down into second gear, try not first, that'll give him too much wheel spin on the exit. Up to the last corner now, it's slightly off camber, can really send you wide. He manages, he does go a bit wide. I think that may be an invalidated lap. Yeah. He runs out of ERS, but he goes P7 still.
Yeah, I think it was an improvement, so I don't think it was invalidated.
Yeah, it was P18, from P18 to P7, so that was good effort.
Good lap on the tyres.
He can go faster.
Yeah, I've seen him go faster in China, so he's going to find a few more times, but I think he could go on another lap on the hards, but he's got low ERS at the moment, so I'm guessing he's going to dive it into the pits to get another lap in, or he might just slow down for his in lap and then go on another fly. We'll just have to wait and see. He has time to do either one or, but he's got to make the decision very quickly.
Yeah, I think everyone's coming in now. I think LCR Ben is the only one that's stayed out on the medium tyres, and he's setting his lap now. He doesn't want to get caught up in any of that traffic, so he may as well go with him. Nice and tight into turn 9. Keep the steering as shallow as you can on the exit to turn 10. Short blast down to turn 11. Another hairpin. There's a big mix of just hairpin corners and high speed corners in this track. Not really many medium speeds. I think the only one I can really think of is the last turn. Big long turn, trying to scrum the speed off going onto the long straight, and then a bit of a relaxing moment here. 1.2 kilometre straight, not much to do. The only thing to do is press the DRS button to open up that rear wing, give you a few extra kilometres an hour of straight line speed. Brakes just after the 100-metre board, a bit later than ILR3 Hamilton did, into first gear to try and get that nose in. Let's see if we can keep it together better than ILR3 Hamilton did in his lap. No, he actually cuts the corner. That'll definitely be a validated lap there.
Yeah, but he's deactivated his DRS there, so he'll definitely have to go again. So, what a shame for Ben, but he will have time to dive into the pits as long as he goes a bit faster than he's doing now, because otherwise there's no way he's going to get one final lap in. But he possibly wants to be one of the last people to get in and set a lap in, because that's when the track has evolved the most. So I think that's what Ben is probably doing right now.
Yeah, everybody's on the mediums now if you go to what their fitted tyre is.
Yeah.
There's 3 drivers that isn't, and that's Hamilton,
Chief
Jamie
Dreams.
and Dreams, who I don't think is going to go out again. There's not really much point in going out again unless he feels as though he can somehow set a quicker time on the mediums. He definitely won't do that on the hards. Yellow in sector 1, what's that for? I didn't see anything, although I did see edited fawn going quite slowly, but I don't think apart from that we're all good. He's just coming out of turn 4 when I saw him.
Yeah, I think he may have made a little bit of a mistake there. We'll have to wait and see when edited fawn goes into sector 3 to see how much time he either gained or lost in sector 2. So, yeah, the thing, I think for some of these guys, the tyres are starting to heat up a little bit because they're trying to get a bit of heat in their tyres, and maybe they start to push a little bit. This is now the time where these guys have really got to go out on the track.
Dragon Shanley is sideways Dragon Shanley sideways where Blazer Guns was. I
Ooh.
think that might be a bit of a tricky curb coming out of turn 4. We're seeing a lot of that in this game. The curbs can really spit you around. I mean, we saw enough of that in the last game. It seems to be even more the case this game. I mean, it is more realistic, so can't really complain.
Yeah, looks like Dragon Shanley's chance of getting pole from Cheesy Dreams is pretty much done. As he's probably going to retire from the session, as he's probably held off steerage quite a bit as well. As I believe steerage was on a fly there as well. So I do believe steerage will have to go again as well.
It says outlap on his timing board, so I think he's all right.
That's all right. That's fine.
Edited Fawn, even though he did have a big lockup going into the turn 15.
Oh, he's locked
Well,
up
the
again.
penultimate corner hairpin. I think that's him just getting out of the way for Jack RT because he did just finish his lap. So I think he's done for this session. He's got P6, so that's a good effort. And the only one to have set a time on the Softs is Dreams. Be interesting to see how his race eventually unfolds.
Yeah.
Loads of people still warming up their tyres. Bibbin goes P4 in a Haas. That's also a good effort.
And I've just been informed.
Just seeing if I can find anybody else.
I've just been informed that it's going to be a dry race, so no wet weather in sight. So that's gonna be interesting for Cheesy Dreams anyway. If it was a wet race, Cheesy Dreams would be all right, but since it's not a wet race, then he's gonna find it a bit more difficult to keep the pole position. But maybe he just wants the pole position for the glory anyway. Bibbin has gone wide again. That's probably his race done. Well, he's qualifying done and dusted. We've got 40 seconds remaining. Epics, I think, is another one that's on a potential flyer at the moment. I think he's going to go out for one final stint as well, as I don't think he was pushing hard enough on his lap he's on at the moment to get faster. But he will have a chance to go again unless he goes slower. And everyone is out except Dragon Shanley, so Dragon Shanley is not going to improve. But Epic's improved up to P4, so I thought he wouldn't improve, but he has. So not bad from the Ferrari driver.
Street Gamer up into P2 as well.
Yeah, Street Gamer, another person that we have seen improve quite a bit as well. So far, he's got, I think he got either P3 or P4 in Australia and Bahrain compared to the P10s that he got last season. So I'm seeing a different side to him as the checker flag has fallen. 1:31.8 from Cheesy Dreams. That's a great time. That is a great time for this tier anyway. You'll be happy with that.
I saw somebody on the grass.
Street Gamer is going to improve.
Just before that is Cinnamon Rage, who was on the grass on the inside of Snail exit onto the back straight as Steerage is about to finish his lap. He's down in P18 at the moment, so he's going to have to find a improvement, or he's really going to have to fight his way through the field. Already a two-time ILR3 champion. And he comes across the line and goes P3, so the two alphas having great improvements in the last stages of that qualifying session. P2 and P3, fastest of the medium runners.
Dad's Lad's on a lap. He's about to cross the line now. He's run out of VRS though.
Oh.
P2. How did he pull that out of the bag with no ERS? Oh my god, that was pretty good on the set of the medium tyres. The Cinnamon Rangers retired. That's the fastest lap I've seen on the medium tyres. Good on you, Dad's Lad. And I'm just seeing if anyone else is on a lap. Epics is slowing down. Leper, he's slowing down as well. Yep, I think that's it. That's it. So Cheesy Dreams is on pole. I think it's his first pole in ILR, so that is a good result for him. So if he's going to get some glory, he's going to get that. I think my main hope for him is he's going to get a podium or top 5. I hope he does. Or maybe the win if he gets the 2-stop strategy intact. If he wants to get that 2-stop strategy intact, he has to pull up a massive gap at the start.
Yeah, loads of improvements, particularly from the Racing Points as well, who take P3 and P5.
Jamie's reserve as well.
The two alphas down to even more. So that is Hamilton's alpha, just calmly sat there on the straight with 3 wheels on its wagon.
3 wheels on the wagon, not jumping in the bandwagon, sadly. But anyway, we are about to get your qualifying results for you, and we're going to go through them. There we go. So Cheesy Dreams on pole by 4 attempts. Not as close as the last few weeks, but still quite decent stuff from Cheesy Dreams. So we've got Dazzler second, Jamie third, Hamilton fourth, Oasis fifth, Steerage sixth, Street Gamer seventh. We got Danny in eighth, Jack in ninth, Dragon Charlie in 10th. We've got Epic's Revolution, Matt, Bibbin, Edited Form, Ben, Blazer Guns, Leper, Cinema Rage, and Joker. So the top 50, pretty much from about P2 to 15th, they're quite close, about a second within each other. So that could prove to be interesting if a train starts to form. And hopefully the drivers have not lied to us saying it is a dry race, and yes, it is. But it's quite overcast, though.
Yeah, so that's going to probably, out of anybody, play into the man at the front on the soft tyres, as that's going to probably make it so the tyres don't overheat as much, the track isn't as hot. So maybe that will enable him to last a lap or two longer. Maybe make it a bit more likely that he can go on to the hard tyres instead of the mediums. It's still going to be a risk, though. There's no question about that.
And I think Cheesy Dreams in the chat realising that he's probably made a bit of a mistake going on the soft tyres, because when he was doing Grand Prix mode, he only made it to lap 6 on the set of the soft tyres. So I don't think he's going to be the one to balance his soft tyres as much as he would have hoped. But you never know. We've seen surprises in ILR. Can he put off a surprise, as we're just waiting for the last few drivers to ready up and get their, I think he's pretty much getting their strategies sorted, where they're going to do the 1 stop, the 2 stop, or are they going to go for the gamble, maybe do hards to mediums? We'll just have to wait and see. As formation lap is about to begin. Hopefully Steerage has said it right this time, because last week there was no formation lap. Yep, it is fine. Thank you, Steerage. Okay, so let me check the tyres quickly. Everyone's on the mediums and the hards except Cheesy Dreams. So I think that just goes to show how long the softs don't last. But yeah.
It's just going to be interesting. He'll definitely pull away for the first couple of laps, 2-3 laps, and then he'll start falling back, probably due to wear rather than temperature in this game, because the softest tyre in the last game was pretty much undrivable because of how much temperature just started burning through the rubber. But yeah, so I would have thought Dazzler would be past him by the end of by the time Cheesy Dreams gets to the end of his first stint. I would have thought Cheesy Dreams would have gone soft, medium, medium. That's the quickest strategy he's got. Yeah. Because even if he does go 1 stop, those hards are going to be so dead by the end of the race. There's not much point having them on.
I don't know how long the hards last on this game in China. I've never tried it myself, and I never want to. So I wonder if Cheesy Dreams has tried it. He probably tried it, but it didn't work for him. But the only other people on the hards are Revolution, Matt, Blazer Guns, and Leper. Apart from Cheesy Dreams as well, everyone else is on the set of the medium compound tyres as well. I haven't seen what Jamie can do, because obviously it's his first time in ILR today, so obviously he's in reserve. So I wonder if he's going to have a very good start from Dazzler as well. I've seen all the other drivers and what they're capable of, but I haven't seen what Jamie can do. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if he could get a good start.
Yeah. It's just interesting, because I didn't do it in Tier 2, because I will be honest, I completely forgot. But it's who's going to get the Supercharge award? I haven't done it this season.
Did you forget in Tier 2?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Boo. And
that's a Renault going off. Spearing off. I think that's Dragon Shanley. Just gone into the wall. It's all right. It's formation lap. You don't get damage on the formation lap. Lucky for him.
But you get disqualified from the...
Yeah, he's... Oh my god, in a 20-car grid, no one's actually been disqualified.
It doesn't get noticed on who gets disqualified or not. So, which is a bit of a shame. You only notice when you go into the car and see they're still on the grid. But that's a good thing. At least it doesn't distract. Wow, what's happening to that Renault?
The Renault ghosts through everyone else.
What's happening to that Renault? Okay, that is weird. But
that is realism at its finest.
But anyway, we're about to get the engines revving up. The 5 lights are about to come on. We got Cheesy Dreams on the right, Dazzlad on the left. Who's going to get the better advantage? And it is lights out, and away we go. And Dazzlad is already up into a very good start into turn 1. He's going to probably get the better exit going into the snail section. Yes, he does. Cheesy Dreams already starting to struggle a little bit there. I see a Force India. No, Racing Point, so he almost went a bit wide into turn 1. as I'm seeing quite a bit of carnage right at the back, but not much carnage that we thought. I think they managed to take it clean, apart from Leper, who almost went into the wall, but seems like everyone is trying to make the run, but Cheesy Dreams is going to try and get the switch back into turn 5, and that's his position sorted there, so good stuff.
Oh. That's plenty of wheel banging between the top two. That's like got up the inside into turn 1, as we thought he would do, because he was on the inside line. And then Cheesy Dreams does a switchback, barges his way back through at turn 3. And then they're side by side again into turn 6. Another bit of wheel banging. Bit of wheel banging in between there as well, up on the straight leading towards turn 6. And Dazzler actually comes out on top over the soft-tired runner. Other than that, Oasis has not had a very good start at all. I think he went very wide through the first turn. But at the moment, LCR Ben is contender for the Supercharge Award, because it is the end of the second lap, don't forget. There's a Ferrari, a McLaren, and the Racing Point switching all over the place in the background. The 3 wide into the hairpin of turn 12. Or somehow, no contact, and the Renault comes back out on top. He was in front anyway. The Ferrari and the McLaren, and the Ferrari pushes the McLaren onto the grass. The McLaren's going to have to go round the outside of the Toro Rosso into the last turn. Manages to do so. The people going wide, a Rebel going wide, another Ferrari going wide, of Joker and Blazer Gun. Somehow, not much contact has been made at all so far, although quite a bit of tyre-to-tyre contact. Thankfully, no front wings for anyone, really.
And no people going into the pits either, so I think that's the first race I've seen in a while. But it's probably going to get jinxed as Joker is very close or Rebel. Oh my god, what is going on? Right, I'm not going to go on board with them, because that was kind of like a major desync. I think Revolution's having trouble with his internet on my screen. So, yeah.
Same. Whoa, my god. What was that connection? Yeah, I heard from, I was speaking to George and Hardy before the race, and they actually said, I think they said to Australia and Bahrain, he pretty much had a red X over his car through the entire thing. Yep. So I think he's going to have to get that sorted sooner or later. ILR3 button runs wide. He didn't have much qualifying, but he made the most of it. He's in P10 at the moment. He's down 2, so he didn't end up qualifying P8. Although I think he only ended up doing the 1 run, because he had to reset his load because of sound issues. But at the moment, LCR Ben is up 7, and I can't see anybody else contending for the Supercharge Award other than the man in Toro Rosso. So that's a great effort on the medium tyres.
Yep, he's made it work, and not as close as last week, where the Supercharge Award wasn't decided for about lap 7. But Ben has made that strategy work so far, and he's still up into P9, and potentially could get epics as well. As Dad said, no, he's going to lose the Supercharge Award if he's not careful. Yes, he has. I think we jinxed him, Jack. He's binned it on the last corner. He's going to wait till everyone else has gone out of the way. And he was doing a bit of donuts there. So, yep, I think it's going to be someone else. And that someone else is Joker. So, Joker's now got the Supercharge Award. It would have been Ben. Oh, my God.
Yeah. LCR Ben now down in P20. That was just lack of rear grip that sent his car around. That was Antonio Giovinazzi style, as I think Cheesy Dreams just lost the position to the Racing Point. Yes, he has. Now he's got the Alfa Romeo up his inside through turn 7. This is probably the fastest corner on the track. He's going to have to go around the outside through turn 8, and he's done it. Great move from the Alfa. Now he's a bit of a Alfa Romeo sandwich here with a Toro Rosso filling.
Yeah.
So these two are probably going to have to work as a team to get past. Though Cheesy Dreams, I don't think those tyres are going to last that much longer. I can already see him sliding all over the place.
Yeah, I think he wasn't meant to make that strategy. He was probably meant to start on the mediums, but then he realised he was on the softs and decided not to. We've got a yellow flag, and it is Blazer Guns, who is down in 19th, who's spun, and that's Leper down into 18th. But we're seeing that the other Alfa Romeo of steerage trying to get the move past Cheesy Dreams. I think it's not a question of if, I think it's a question of when, due to the fact that Cheesy Dreams is starting to struggle. But Steerage has got to get past pretty soon. Street Game is right behind him as well.
I saw Joker and Dragon Shanley going side by side there. Joker tried to start the inside, I think. Completely locked up the right front. Yeah, he is. He's going up the inside of the Renault. The Renault, I don't think doesn't have any grip really at the moment. Joker tried to send it up the inside of the hairpin, went really wide, all over the AstroTurf. Renault switched back, got back past him, and now Joker's sent it back up the inside into turn 1, and he's managed to make the move stick this time. And there's another yellow in sector 1. I'll just scroll through if I can see what that is. Blazing Guns is off again. He's gone straight on.
He's in last place now.
Yeah, quite a long way as well. His nearest contender is LCR Ben, who's already at the hairpin. He's just coming through turn 4, so
3 seconds. No, 15
got a bit of work to do.
15 seconds now, so he's lost a lot of time. So you're probably going to pick quite early on and might try and make it to a 2-stop because it probably won't hurt him a little bit. But again, we'll have to wait and see. His dad's lad's pulling up a massive gap for Jamie at the moment, and Jamie's been impressive so far. He's kept his nose out of trouble, and he's not been involved in too many incidents, and that's what you really want to be. Steerage gonna get
Dreams
the inside.
Around the outside. Now he's putting around the outside. Cheesy Dream's gonna have to be careful. Those tyres are up to scratch. But he actually does defend off the Alpha. The Alpha gets a bit of oversteer coming out of the hairpin. He's going to try and get the switch back through the last corner. Dream's really holding up the Alpha now. The Alpha's getting really irritated. He's trying to decide which way to go down the straight. He's going to have to go around the outside of turn 1. Dreams. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Dreams has been sent into a half spin.
Oh, that is carbon fibre pretty much gone. Yeah, his front wing's gone. So he'll have to be the first person to pit. So
I think he's made contact with a McLaren. McLaren's had a big chunk taken out of his ILR3 button. His left-hand side of his front wing, a big chunk of it's gone. He's probably going to have to slap on the hards now, I would have thought.
I'm almost certain. And we've got another yellow flag in sector 3, which is probably one of the guys that lost his front wing. Cheesy Dreams has just lost it. He's down into 16th at the moment, so yeah.
Yellow sector 2.
It's hard always button.
Oh, Joker's round.
So we're already seeing a few mistakes, more than we thought. But on the mediums as well. I'm a bit shocked about that. As Ben goes past
He's lost a bit of his front
Dreams.
wing as well.
Yeah, he's down into 19th now. So this is where people are starting to lose their rhythm a little bit. As Revolution gets past Button. And, as Edited Fawn almost had a collision with RLT Button, but Matt DJ has gone past him, Edited Fawn has gone past him.
I'm not too sure if that was just a mega move or what, but MXT, I'm going to call him, and other Red Bull, I think he just made about 3 places after people got held up in front of him by the McLaren missing the front wing. And he's just got an absolute run on everybody and got on the inside, I think, for about 3 people. So that was a brilliant move from the Rebel, and I have to look at that again after the race because I think he's just put on the move of the race.
I don't think. I think I must have missed it, but I don't know. But we'll see anyway. There's, I think, another person that's in Mercedes Sandwich's bib, and he is going to try and see if he can get past Edited Fawn as well. Maybe Cinnamon Rage might hold him up. We'll have to wait and see. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. That might be either. I think I'm seeing.
Oh, it's Cheese Dreams. He's gone straight on. He's done a Lewis Hamilton.
Luckily, he didn't retire though, but he's going to dive into the pits. I think he's got.
Joker's in there.
I think he's
both
going to go
McLarens are in there.
Yeah, it's pretty much pit stop central here. As the pit crew weren't ready for the McLaren driver by the sound of things.
Leper Affinity is going to be there for ages. He had to wait for his teammate to get a front wing change, and his mechanic has to go back into the pits to get another front wing for his front wing change. So he's probably going to be stationary for probably about 30 seconds.
Right, he's back.
And,
he's out.
That's going to freeze his tyres.
Yeah, he's out of the track. So he's down in 19th. He's right behind Cheesy Dreams though. I just need to check what tyres Cheesy Dreams is on. He is on softs. Okay. So that is interesting. So you'll have to pit again because obviously you can't finish the race with obviously the same compound and the softs don't last very long anyway. Was he meant to do that or did he choose the wrong tyres? I wonder what his Jeff will have to say about that.
Go to 2-stop from here. So if he started on the mediums, he may as well go soft mediums because you've got to use 2 tyre compounds, obviously.
No, he started on the softs and he's on the softs again.
He's probably going to go soft, hard then. That's the only real strategy I can see him doing from here.
Yeah.
Because I think if he can't do 20 laps, I think MXT is about to have a go around the outside of the Williams of Revolution, and he does. The Mercedes is going to try and go around the outside as well. He just broke far too early for that corner, and the Haas is now all over him as well. AOR into the front. Having a great start. ILR Bibbin is up the inside. Can he keep it together? There's a bit of contact. The Haas puts his brake checks him.
Bibbin's off.
That was definitely a brake check from Bibbin. That was dodgy. That looked dodgy.
That will probably be looked into the stewards, I think. But, yeah, I think Bibbin got off a bit lightly. But I'm just trying to see how the Williams is actually of Revolution. Revolution's fine. But Revolution's going slower than normal. And I think his connection is still causing a lot of issues in his lobby as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough order. I think people are a bit too scared to get past him. But I don't see any red bar anymore, so I think it looks like he's okay. But he's okay for us, but he probably might not be okay for people in the lobby.
Oh, Blazer Guns round again at the last corner.
Oh, no. I think he's a lap down, and Cinnamon Rake's gone wide. So another person...
Now have to be careful, the leader's coming through.
Yeah, that as well. Just let me go on board with the leaders. I'm just seeing how far ahead. Oh, what's happened to Blazer Guns? Oh, my word. I think he's going to... So he's going to wait a long time. Oh, he's almost hitting the Renault. Oh, my God. And he's ghosted as well. So I think he's letting his ghost take control. We do see the...
he just ghosted because he stopped.
Yeah, we do see
every bit of traffic's through now. So he can carry on. I mean...
He's waiting for the right moment.
ILR Bibbin, he's not too sure. He's retired. I'm not too sure what he was doing there. I mean... I think he really brought that up on himself because that wasn't a bump draft technique. That wasn't just running into the back and not leaving enough space for yourself. That was a sudden change in speed. He definitely brake checked the I think that was the Williams of Revolution behind him. So yeah, that's going to be looked into.
Yeah, definitely. But we're still having this very intense battle between Revolution, Cinnamon Rage and Ben as well. Still quite close together, as well as the Mercedes as well. So this could hot up towards the end. As we got another yellow flag in Sector 3 and also in Sector 2 as well. And that is Dragon Shanley, who spun in... I can't remember what turn it is. Oh, that is just before turn 12.
I think he just had a half spin. I think he's all good.
Yeah, he's good. So he doesn't have any damage, but he's joined in the back of this 4-car battle as well. There's yellow flags everywhere.
Yeah, I think this wing's good. I just saw yellow flags in all 3 sectors, so absolute scenes going on at the moment.
Unbelievable scenes.
Those lads still in the lead in the Williams, followed by Jamie in a racing point. Almost just did a Crofty and called it a Force India. I'll refrain from doing that.
I did that last week. Oh,
Steerage
is... hit Revolution there. Sorry to cut you there.
Steerage is being hunted down by the Haas of Street Gamer at the moment. Jack RT, who didn't have the best of seasons last season, is in P6 doing a brilliant job compared to what he has done. So hope he stays there. Not to, I'm going to avoid myself in the jinx. I'm going to make sure I do that.
He's P3 in the standings
pick
at the
up the pace.
He's P3.
So he's had a pretty decent couple first races then.
Oh yeah, I think his first race didn't go too good, but his second race went really well. His Blazer Guns is in a retirement, and LCR Ben has made a mistake somewhere, not quite sure what happened. He's got to move out the way of Revolution, and he does. So yeah, I think it looks like Ben is going to probably struggle to... He's already struggling on those mediums already. It's probably because he was battling too hard and hadn't involved himself in the spin. But looks like he's got... Has he got... No, he hasn't got damage. I think he's fine in that Toro Rosso. And don't forget, the liveries have changed, I think, to make it look like real life now. So it is like what it was in Hungary, I think. I can't remember. Or it might have been... Oh, I don't know when they've updated to.
I think we have the 90 years on the Ferrari instead of just having a very plain-ish red car. I mean, we couldn't put the Mission Winnow sponsors on.
We've got Street Gamer that's just dropped quite massively, and Jack just managed to get past him up into P5. So could he get another position from steerage? We'll have to be sure. He's on third mode DRS as well. Matt DJ's up into P9 already, but let's go on board with Jack. He's going to go around the twisted snail section quite nicely and gets past steerage very well. But steerage is going to have another go once again. Yeah, that is a good move. He is keeping things under control. Street Gamer is going to be on the attack of steerage, so steerage is definitely in a spot of bother at the moment. He doesn't know what to do. Would he rather defend or attack? I would find it difficult to be in that situation, to be honest, but I think Steerage's main focus at this point is to make sure he keeps Street Gamer behind, otherwise that is another position loss for him.
Yeah, I think Street Gamer must have made a mistake going to hairpin. Jack RT was still quite a way behind him when I went on board with him, and he was just coming out onto that back straight, so I think he was still around 6/10 behind. And then I think Steerage got a bit irked, probably by the Haas getting very close and very suddenly. And he had to quickly move out of the way. And Jack RT capitalised off the Haas going wide, and he capitalised getting DRS over the Alpha. Of course, DRS being much more powerful this season. Street Gamer does a bit of a Ken blockage onto the back straight. It's a good save. Yeah. Can't really see many battles apart from the ones for P4, P5 and P6. Everyone else is relatively spaced apart.
Yeah, and Dazlad is about 3 seconds behind Jamie. And don't forget, Dazlad also races in PC, and he seems to be a lot better on Xbox, I think. So doing quite well. As we've got potentially Street Gamer trying to catch up to Steerage pretty soon again. But doesn't quite do it at the moment. He just wants to keep up the pace, keep to a low ERS mode, and then when he starts to save up a little bit, that is when he starts to push. So he's still on the back of Steerage though, so his pace must be good even with low ERS anyway.
Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few, although to be honest, in terms of battles, I think the top 3 have had the loneliest, apart from the start, the top 3 have had the loneliest races of anybody at the moment. I think, although Steerage did lose the position to Jack RT, he's not falling away from him, and neither is Street Gamer. So I think Street Gamer is just probably having a few temperature issues that he needs to sort out. I mean, that is characteristics of the House we see in real life, but of course, as equal cars, I think they've all got the performance of a Mercedes AMG car.
Yeah.
Although Jack RT's had a very good race, he's up 5 at the moment, and he's staying there. So is Edited Fawn, he's up 6 from P15 on the grid. And Joker starting last is also at P5, although I'm pretty sure everyone behind Joker at the moment has had some sort of incident. I think Joker's had an incident himself. I think everyone, to be honest, below Cinnamon Range is having some sort of spin. Edited Fawn, bit of oversteering to the hairpin, just coming onto the long right-hander to the snail straight. That is turn 11. Sorry.
Yeah. Cinnamon Rage, it's his best position so far in...
Ooh, Steerage goes wide. He's going to get DRS. He's very close. Steerage goes to the outside. Sorry to interrupt.
That's fine.
Jack RT is not having to worry about this. The Haas goes up the inside of the Alpha to do the 2 Ferrari engine cars, really battling it. Steerage tries to go back up the inside, but nothing comes of that. Steerage down yet another place. Bibbin has just left the session. Where was
he? Was last anyway, he retired.
DNF'd anyway. He was all good.
I think he lost all motivation, I think,
Steerage,
as well.
Yeah, I think he must... out of these, Steerage, I would have thought he's probably going to have to pit first out of any of them, because I think out of... He's probably one struggling most with where his car is understeering quite a lot from what I can see.
Yeah, I can see him understeering as well, and I'm just going to see his teammate actually, to see if he's having the same problem. Looks like, I think he's alright, because otherwise, he's got Jack right behind him as well, but he's struggling a bit coming towards the beginning of the snail section, but I think he's struggling less than his teammate right now, so if I was Alpha, I would pit Steerage first, or maybe pit Hamilton to cover off the thing. We'll have to wait and see. It depends what Hamilton what to do, but I do believe Hamilton will get first call and first dibs basically when he wants to pit, and then Steerage will follow suit.
Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention then.
Sorry, that's fine.
Just trying to work out. Oh, loads of people going in the pits. The Alpha of Hamilton, the Renault. Oh no, the Alpha. Wait, what?
Yeah, Hamilton.
My leaderboard is.
Hamilton.
Yeah, it is Hamilton. Okay.
Jack Jack and Street Gamer all going to the pits at the same time. I thought Steerage was going to pit first, but I think Hamilton wants the undercut.
Yeah, he's obviously seen that the two in front of him has come in. He's not going to gain anything by pitting at the same time. He's obviously let his teammate have it because they would have to probably stack otherwise. And Hamilton's still got decent gap over both the Renault and the Haas. I think Steerage also, I mean, he's not going to overtake them pitting at the same time, so he may as well leave it a lap longer and try and overtake them. Maybe they have some warm-up issues because they are on the hards. They do take a while to warm up. The not softs, they're mediums. The mediums, although they're probably very worn, they're still warm. So it's just a difference. Is the warmth faster or is the degradation faster in terms of how long?
Yeah, I can see.
In terms of how fast they are going to be on the end of their stints and the beginning of their stints.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. So the medium tyres, I think, last about lap 14, 15. So they've got a few more laps left before some of the guys can dive into the pits if they want to. So maybe Dazzler can push it a little bit. Maybe Dazzler wants to wait for Jamie to go in. I think Jamie's slowing down, so I do believe Jamie is going into the pits. Yes, he is. So he's going to make his first stop, and so is Dazzler as well. So Dazzler will definitely come out in front. Is Steerage going to follow suit? Yes, he does. I think pretty much a top 5 will. So unless Epic decides to stay out, nope, he's going in as well. So most of the medium runners going into the pits at the moment, which is I think the right decision in order to make sure your tyres get to the end. Is Dazzlad and Jamie on the serve hard. I think Steerage and Epic's going to do the same.
Yeah, yes, I can't see he's definitely going to lose position to them.
Yeah.
I think Epic might have had a 5-second time penalty. He was stationary for a long time, whereas Mechanics actually put his tyres on. And I think Steerage, yeah, he is behind them by quite a long way as well.
Yeah,
waiting until the Delta actually pops up. 1.5 seconds. He was already around 1 second by the time he fitted. He did lose time, not as much as I thought he did. But of course, he probably is going to lose a bit more now because those tyres aren't warm. Those hards do have quite a difference when they are warm, and they take quite a while to do so.
I've noticed in China, they take a while to warm up, to be honest. But I've never experienced it because my race was wet yesterday. So, but in career mode especially, the hards take, I think for me, took about 2 laps to warm up. So it is going to be difficult for Steerage to get back up as Leper has had another shunt.
Yeah. I think they both had an off at the same time.
Dreams as well. So he's down in last place at the moment. And does he have damage? I don't think so.
I think they're a bit ambitious, both going off battling over what is essentially last place, guys. But keep it on the track, please.
Yeah, please do, because we don't want any more incidents going to the stewards. As Cheesy Dreams, I think, goes past Leper. Yes, he does, and he's up to 17. I guess he doesn't want to be last then. But don't forget, he's on the hards and Leper's on the mediums. And Street Gamer just got past Jap there. So Street Gamer up into P6. So
good move. So he's those overheating issues actually did him a favour there. He's managed to what seems to be warm up his hards quicker than the Renault has. And Steerage, I'm just calling his real name. Steerage is starting to hunt down the Renault and the Haas. I think he'll be able to do so. If these two keep squabbling, then he's going to be underneath that Renault quite soon. I think he's reduced that gap to around, it's still around 1.5, but those cars are seeing definitely a lot closer compared to when he left the pits just 1 lap ago. There are still 2 drivers who haven't pitted, Revolution and MXT in the Red Bull, although both started on the hards. So I would have thought these two would be quite a bit faster than their rivals at the end because they'll be on the fresher and the softer compound. Although, of course, you won't have that at the start if you start on the hards and the softs because, yeah, you're on the soft compound, but they're the same age. That makes a big difference when you start running them a long distance.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed as well. So I think Matt will just have to wait for the right moment, and he can go on for a little bit longer as well, and try and get past his rivals very easily, which will be a good strategy for him, and that will get his best result. He's PA in the standings right now. He's got 6 points. I'm sure he wants to get better than 6 points overall in the standings. So maybe tonight he's going to do it, and I think he can go to the pits. No, he's not. I thought he was for a minute there. That'll be a bit too early, but he is starting to struggle a little bit on those hard tyres. I think he pushed a little bit too much from earlier, but he's got Hamilton breathing down his neck now, so what will Hamilton do?
Yeah, I saw the compounds in this game make probably twice the difference than they did in the last game. I saw think it was ILR2 round Australia a couple of weeks ago. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, went so long on the hard tyres. They must have gone 3/4 of the race, and then for their last stint, they put the softs on, and they were around 2.53 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else were on the used hards. So, yeah, if anybody does a dramatic strategy change and goes on the softs towards the end of this race, be prepared for a few overtakes.
Yeah, and that is what racing is all about. So hopefully we could see that, but you never know. So I think Matt has just got to let Hamilton pass and try and save his tyre so he can do that. And we've also got Dragon, Shanley and Joker having a little bit of a scrap for pretty much P12. I know P12 won't get you any points, but you'll get a bit of glory at the end of the day as Dragon Shanley's on older tyres. So he's still in 13th, and he's got edited form, no, not edited form, Joker right behind as well.
Hamilton about to pass Matt. He's going to try and go up the inside. I don't think Matt is going to fight this too hard. He doesn't defend the inside. He just lets the Alpha go down the inside. Brakes early, sort of really lets him pass by the end of it. And I think, yes, he does go in this lap.
Yeah, I thought
Matt
so.
has already pitted, you know. I think Matt might have had an incident on the first lap because we're 17 laps into the race, and yet his tyres are only 15 laps old.
Oh. Or he might have, is he a lap down? I don't know.
Might have lost a bit of front wing and come in
and we didn't
managed
notice.
to recover somewhat. I think by the end of this, he'll come out in P10. I'm going to guess. There goes the Ferrari of Epics, and not too far behind, probably the Williams of Revolution. Revolution still has to pit as well. He's on 16 lap old hards. Doesn't get past him. He pitted as well.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how many stops people have done. Revolution's going to the pits now. The only people to make 2 stops are Button and Cheesy Greens. So, that is strange. Wait. So, it says on the game Matt has 1 stop, but he was on the tyres for 15 laps. That is confusing. But that is this game sometimes. Sadly, but yeah.
Although, one thing I do have to commend everyone on, one thing I haven't seen pop up this entire race is a corner cutting penalty. I haven't seen a single one.
I did see a stop go, or a few, but that was pretty much it.
Have a look.
I don't know. I'm not going to look because obviously I'm streaming. But if you see there's any warnings or penalties, but I think there was only a few. Before we jinxed it now, Jack.
Leper's got one. Leper's got one, that's it. The only one who's got one is Leper.
Yeah, that is pretty good for an ILR3 racing no assist completely, as the top 3 are running no assists this season, whereas compared to the last few seasons where it's just the top tiers. So I think it just goes to show they can go wheel to wheel and not make too many instances. Well, we have seen some instances where it is being a bit of an issue and it could get reported, but we'll have to wait and see. As steerage, I think, still on the back of a race as well, so we'll have to find out what happens. And Hamilton could be on course for another podium.
I think Oasis jumped him.
Pardon?
Oasis, I think, definitely jumped him because
I swear Oasis
jumped
was like 9th
steerage in the pits.
or 8th or something.
Yeah, I think he was.
Wow.
I think he was the Force. It's not a Force India. It's not David Croft. It's a Racing Point.
Don't worry, Jack. I accidentally called the super soft yesterday. At one point.
Oh, well, I called the hards the mediums. See, I just did it then. I called the hards the mediums, but
yeah.
I think Oasis. He just had a mega stint on his first tyres, and he's jumped steerage in his pits after going wide in turn 1 in the first lap.
Does he always finish his game?
But
he's only dropped 1. He's only dropped 1. So
I think because he started in P5.
Yeah. And steerage is close, still catching up, so you never know. But you can see, I think Oasis is having better grip on his tyres, I think. And you think he's trying to save as well. But we can see a battle up here between Jack and Street Gamer, though, developing. As Jack's going to try and get around the outside. And looks like he's got the move done. Oh, Street Gamer, he's gone a little bit wide, and possibly Oasis could join the party pretty soon as well. Yep, Street Gamer's lost a bit of time there, and Jack is starting to pull away from him after that mistake. Meanwhile, Joker's up into P10. Oh, no, he's not. Joker's made a mistake.
Gone so wide. That's exactly the same mistake he made earlier. Cinnamon Rage gone straight into the back of him. That was quite an unsafe rejoin in terms of for the Red Bull. He didn't allow for any. He came straight back onto the racing line. Didn't wait for anybody to get around him. Didn't really have any chance to coming out of the exit of what is probably quite an unsighted corner because you've got the wall right there. But I think the more Jack RT and Street Game battle like that, the more Oasis and Steerage are going to be looking at that and saying, hang on a minute, you might be up for P4. One of us is going to be up for P4 in a minute.
Yeah,
but
and
again,
at the moment,
top three have just had a race by themselves, really. I mean, Dad's had a little bit of pressure from Jamie, but he's always been around 3 seconds behind. And, well, Hamilton, he's had pretty much 5 seconds either side of him the whole race, at least.
Yeah, Hamilton is definitely the one that surprised me the last couple of races, actually. After that, he didn't get any points. Oh, well, I think he got 1 point in Australia, and then he got a podium. He got a podium in Bahrain. And he's going to get another podium today. So he is.
Wow.
So
don't jinx it. Don't say
I'm not
anything for definite yet.
Touch wood. I probably have jinxed it now. If you're watching this back, Hamilton, I'm sorry if I have, but I'm not going to say anything more. Because Ben is having a battle with Cinnamon Rage going into the end of the DRS straight. I think Ben's got Cinnamon Rage there and up into P13. So a nice little scrap going on there. So we're just seeing mini battles at the moment. Not anything too extravagant yet, but it is coming up to the end. But actually, no, we could see another Dragon Shanley in edited form, potentially. Yeah, Dragon Shanley gets past edited form. But can edited form come back of him in the stealth section? Maybe. No, he can't. So
no.
That is Dragon Shanley in the points. So it is a battle for the points.
Dragon Shanley also having quite a decent recovery, along with Oasis. I remember Shanley having a half spin at one point. He's back coming to P10. He's on for some points at the moment. I won't say anything definite yet, Jess, but
sorry.
There you go. He's P10 at the moment. He's had a pretty decent recovery. He's quite far away off the back of Matt in the Red Bull, so I don't think he's going to make any more positions unless somebody in front of him has an incident or somehow we get the safety car. I've only seen it once in this game so far, overall, in career mode and multiplayer and whatever.
But I had one in Bahrain last Thursday.
In the most recent patch, they have upped it, but only a little bit. But it needs to be upped a lot because we barely get it. It's an endangered species at this point.
Well, to be honest, what caused the safety car in Bahrain last week last week wasn't really that much of a safety car issue. So
debris, probably. Yeah, that's what it normally gets called out for if it does get called out.
There was someone that went off, but they moved out of the way, and still there was a safety car. So that was very strange. But meanwhile, I think Jamie's starting to claw back on Dazzard a bit, so that could be intense towards the end.
Jack RT on Hamilton.
And also ready to fall on
Jack RT's getting
Joker
closer
again. Yeah, Jack's getting closer too. So battles are starting to fly by everywhere. They've been Joker and Edited Fawn touching wheels a little bit. I think Edited Fawn, manages to hold on. I'll keep an eye on to see the battle for Jack heats up as well. I think Steerage is still about 7/10 behind Oasis. Jamie is pushing. Look at the gap now. 1.8 seconds now down to 2. Is Dazzler struggling a bit? Or is Jamie pushing? I don't really know. Maybe Jamie has been saving his fuel and tyres for this very moment. We got all the yellow
yellows. Oh, that's
the
a McLaren round.
That is
I think that's ILR3 button.
Oh no, it's Danny. No, it's not Danny.
Oh no, it's Leper Affinity.
Leper. It is Leper, because Danny is still in 15th, but is he struggling a little bit? And it looked like it was going to be a safety car by the way they're going slowly, but it's not. So, yeah. So, quite unfortunate about the other McLaren driver, but at least the other guys are trying to keep it clean on these last couple of laps, which is what these guys need to do right now. Is we're starting to get towards the end of this.
Jamie really getting close.
Yeah, he is. Jamie, 1.8 seconds now. You can see in the same camera shot almost. As Dazzard is running out of ERS, whereas Jamie's got plenty to play with. So, could Jamie get a win as a reserve? It won't be the first time we've seen it in ILR.
Oh, that's the first, other than Leper's penalty, that's the first one I've seen.
Corner cut. First corner cutting penalty. think.
No, I think Lepers was corner cutting.
Oh.
Lepers was 3 second corner cutting penalty.
Oh, right, okay. So, that's only 2 though. So.
That's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that's the best I've ever seen in the game, to be honest. Not.
But to be honest, there's not really much to cut around China. So.
No, it's not one of those tracks where you can get. I think they do punish you if you do cut a corner. You can't really get away with it, really. So that's probably why. Or it might be the other way around, but we'll have to wait and see anyway. As we're on the final few laps of this race, I'm just going to see the tyre situation. Leopard's gone onto a set of softs at the end of it. And I wonder how Matt is doing in the mediums. Jamie's disconnected. Oh no, what's happened to Jamie? That is heartbreak right there. No, what have you done, Jamie? Oh, he would have fighted for the win there. And Hamilton's going to get past him in the next couple of laps as well. That is a bit of a shame.
He's disconnected?
Yeah, he's disconnected. He's ghosted.
If he can get back quickly, he might still be ahead of Hamilton and Jack RT, but it all depends how high the AI will put when the lobby started. Normally I try and put the AI around 100, so at least they have some sort of chance of staying ahead. But its connection wasn't even bad. It didn't lag the whole race for me. That's really weird. He's just disconnecting.
Oh, it might be. He might have had or his Xbox is turned off, or power cut. We've seen weird things happen, so it might be that probably his Xbox is turned off. So otherwise he would have. I don't know. Hopefully he can come back anyway. And hopefully.
Oh, Hamilton's going a bit deep.
Yeah, but he's all right at the moment as long as Jack doesn't close up to him in the next couple of laps. So he is.
The AI seems to be set quite high. I mean, he's only lost a second over the last lap, so if he comes back quickly, he should be all right. I mean, he's still got a 7-second gap to Hamilton behind.
But he's not going to challenge for the win, though, sadly, which is what we were hoping for. But that is racing, and I think that's the F1 2019 version of unreliability, really. GP2 engine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Honda.
is sad.
What?
No, Honda's done quite well. They got 2 wins.
I was talking like 2015 on
that. Oh right. Oh right. Yeah. Well, when McLaren, not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. There's a few McLaren. I'm actually one McLaren fan anyway, so I'm not going to contradict myself. But anyway, whilst this battling was going on, Straight Gamers found quite considerable amount on Jack, but also we've got a full card train for the last point. We've got Joker, LCR Ben, Dragon
all
Challenge,
different teams as well,
and edited forms. We've got Toro Rosso, a Red Bull, a Renault, and a Mercedes. I almost got it the wrong way around. I did get it the wrong way around, but who cares? Because in the last game, the Toro Rosso is dark blue, but it's quite different. So I found it quite hard to get used to. As they all managed to make it fine through the first corner.
Stanley's trying to get the best exits possible. He took a really wide apex, going through turn 4, through turn 5. Anybody going to make a move? Think that everyone's a bit too far back on this occasion. Edited Fawn is there, but he's sort of lurking at the moment, trying to look for a mistake. He's not going for an overtake at the moment. He's on 12-lap old hards. I don't think he wants to push him that much. He's still got to go another 4 laps on top of this. But LCR Ben, after that quite leery spin he had at the start when we thought he was going to get supercharged, is still on for a point, it looks like it, if he can get past Joker. Joker himself, I think, had a spin at some point, so loads of people spinning in this race. Matt is only 1 second behind the Ferrari in front, so he's probably going to catching very quickly as well. He's got DRS, he's activated it far too far away to have a go at the moment. Joker goes to the inside, he's weaving to try and get the slipstream away from the Toro Rosso behind. It's going to be a bit of a slipstream train going down this 1.2 kilometre back straight, I think. There's 3 cars in a row have got DRS. No moves again.
Look at this
Massive
Dragon!
From the Renault.
That would have been a good move, but I think Dragon was a bit too ambitious there, I must say.
Yeah, I think he's lost a huge chunk of his front wing, and he goes straight in the pits.
So
I think that may have been a misjudging of braking point. I think he was looking at the wrong braking marker board. I know I've done that quite a few times. That did not. Oh, there's a bit of contact. between the Toro Rosso and the Red Bull. I was looking at the Renault in the pit lane. The Mercedes goes right round the outside of the Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso now gets to the outside line going through turn 4. Is he going to be able to make it stick? There's a lot of wheel spin from the back of that Mercedes. The LCR Bent has got the slipstream with the Red Bull in front. Is the Red Bull going to help out the sister team here to stay ahead of the Mercedes? Toro Rosso gets right up underneath the Red Bull and manages to stay ahead of the Mercedes. Mercedes still struggling with oversteer on those worn hards.
Yeah, it's getting to the point that the hards are starting to die for the ones that have pitted quite early, and Joker is one of those people. Hopefully Joker can somehow get it to the end. He's gone wide again. Look, yeah, he's
gone wide again. The Toro Rosso's still there. I don't think he's going to go for a move. I think the Toro Rosso is waiting for the DRS zone so he can lose little time as possible, try and get past the Red Bull. But the Red Bull is really starting to struggle on what is 4-lap older tyres, and just managed, Toro Rosso just in general, I think has managed them better. There's 3 laps to go after this. Toro Rosso has got DRS. I don't think there's much Joker can do. He's gone down the back straight unless he can send it back up the inside. He tries to, but the Toro Rosso goes clean around the outside. He gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. That was a big corner cut from the Red Bull. He cuts the Mercedes off in the process, corner cutting, and he goes wide again through the ultimate last corner.
That was so close to a wall.
Try and stick it.
That
was extremely close.
Thank goodness.
Yellows in sector 2. That's Leper Affinity again. The only non-Brit in this race is having an absolute terrible time of things.
Look at his tyres though. His tyres are dead. You can see the amount of debris that's on them. Oh my word.
Yeah, that's going to take a while to clean.
Yeah, that is going to take a while. He's already a lap down as well. Actually, let me just check the leader. No, he's 2 laps down. So, but he's still there. He's still going. People are encouraged to finish, even if they're like struggling. So, but I think because due to Jamie's disconnect, he won't. I don't think his P2 will stand. I think that's what it is in the rules.
Yeah, you got to complete 90% of the race.
And I don't think he's done that. I think it was about 80% or something, roughly.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean, he's missed, I think, about 6 laps now.
Yeah.
So that's going to promote Jack RT into a podium, and that's going to promote Hamilton from... Going to promote everyone up one, basically. Oasis and ILR3 steerage, by the way, swapping positions. Steerage tries to go up the inside, gets pushed onto the grass. Oasis having absolutely none of it. It's firm, but it was fair. Oasis was on the racing line, and I think he pushed Steerage a bit more than he intended. I don't think he thought Steerage was actually going to stay up the inside. Steerage is going to have a few more attempts yet, though. He's got 3 more attempts under DRS at least. Maybe he can have a go into turn 6 if he's close enough 1 lap. But Oasis is actually on the younger tyres at the moment, so I'm not too sure if he's having overheating issues or what, or he's just getting a bit flustered under pressure from the Alpha at the moment. This is the 6th and 7th. So this is for 8 points or for 6 points. Which ones do you want? If you want the 8 points, you're going to have to try a bit harder, basically.
Yeah, and I thought people were going to fight for the extra point for the fastest lap, but no one in the top 10 is going to get it, sadly. As obviously we've got Cinnamon Rage and Dragon Chanley on the soft, and Cinnamon Rage has got the fastest lap. Now it's Dragon Chanley. I don't think anyone on the medium is going to match that, but we have seen unpredictability. Steerage has got a very good run on the races going into the end of the DRS straight. Can he make it work this time?
Oh, they both lock up. No.
Oh, no.
He gets a massively good exit coming out of the hairpin. I don't think Oasis is going to be able to fight this. He's going to have to go around the outside of the last corner if he wants to. And Steerage manages to make the move stick. Oasis, though, got DRS. I don't think he's going to be able to move. I think he's a bit too far back. He's trying to dummy him. He went for a look down the outside. There was absolutely no room there. Bravely and quite rightfully thought better of trying to pull off that move. So close to the back of that Alpha at the moment. I think if Steerage keeps it together through the last lap, I think the Racing Point is just starting to run out of grip towards the end of this race. I think he's really had to push to stay ahead of that Alpha, whereas the Alpha has just sort of coasted a bit, stayed in the slipstream, and that's what has enabled him to be able to keep up with the Racing Point. The Racing Point looks down the inside of turn 7. There was no room there. I think he's just trying to dummy the Alpha and trying to put him under a bit of pressure, maybe force him into a mistake in the last half a lap. of this race. Apart from these two, I think everybody else is happy in their positions. Actually, no, the Red Bull is really close behind the Ferrari of Epics as well. There's yellows in sector 2. I'm not too sure what that's for. Probably a lapped car.
We're about to
I'm
go
not seeing
to the
any.
end, I believe, as Dad's about to go to the final few corners, but Sirius and Oasis are still fighting, so we don't know really who to follow. But let's just go quickly on board with Dad's lad as he comes across the line and he takes his first win.
I want to quickly go back.
Let's go back to Steerage and Oasis.
Oasis goes up the inside. Oasis forces the Alpha Wide and he's got the position. He was entitled to take that line. I think that he's going to make that stick. Oasis a bit of a dive bomb, but he did clear. He was in front of the Alpha before the Alpha tried to go around the outside. That is P6 for Oasis. And I think Matt is trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari. The Ferrari tries to push him off. And the Red Bull goes straight around the outside of the Ferrari. That Ferrari's got absolutely shredded tyres. And that Red Bull has pulled off a move on the penultimate corner just as the Racing Point did. And that is some great last lap action.
Yeah.
I think LCR Ben is about to come over the line for what is the last point after quite a shaky spin at the start of this race.
Considering he was last after that incident earlier on and to come back in finishing 10th, that was a good comeback from Ben. So good comeback drive towards the end there. Just goes to show, never give up in league racing and you still will possibly get a point. So good on you, Ben. But he's gonna lose the championship lead, I think. But I don't know who to. Probably, I think to I don't know. Street Gamer and Jack are going to be close in the championship. I'm sure of that. Because before this race, Street Gamer is 27 points. Jack's on 26. So Jack and Street Gamer get a 1 point gap. So Jack will probably be just ahead of Street Gamer. So I think Jack will be in the lead of the championship. Yeah. I don't know. Isn't it too impossible to go? I can't do that.
Yeah, so what you're looking at the moment really is just ignore that Jamie's name is there because he didn't complete enough of the race for it to count. But yeah, that is Dazlad P1,
Hamilton second.
Hamilton second and Jack RT P3.
Almost the same. I think it's pretty much the same podium. No, I don't know. Actually, no, it's not the same podium as last week. Because obviously we've got Ginger Ninja, but it's the same people in the top, roughly the same people in the top 4. And Jamie's just joined at the wrong time as well. So he's on the podium, but he's not going to get it because he hasn't completed 90%. So what a good result from Dazlad, though. He must be pretty happy with that result. It's tough to call on driver of the day, but one of them I'll have to give to Oasis for some good moves towards the end and a great comeback there. So I might have to give driver of the day to possibly Oasis. But what do you think?
I would have thought driver of the day either to it's difficult to say. Jack RT did quite a good job from P9 up to P4. He managed to quite a fight. P3, yeah. P4 on track though. It wasn't entirely wrong, but he had a very good battle getting past both Street Gamer and Steerage. So I think I'll probably have to give it to Jack RT.
Yeah, I will agree with that, but here is your results here. I'm not going to have time to go through it all. And as you can see, only 2 people got penalties, so good on you. No, 3. Ediford, Joker and Leper, so quite a clean race from everybody else, really. As we are going to see if we can get people in interviews. Dazlad wasn't able to join the podium interviews last week, so we'll see if we can get Hamilton and Jack in, but I'll see if I can get Dazlad in, and I think the sooner I invite him, really, the sooner we can get him in, because he appeared offline for a minute there. So what did you think of that race, your first race back in Tier 3?
Yeah, it was quite a few incidents, quite a few Larry spins, but apart from that, it's good battling. Just need to iron out those quite silly little mistakes we see from some drivers.
Yeah, so I will see if I have... I don't think I have Jack. I do have Jack, so I will add him in there, and I'll also add, I think I have all 3, I think, so I do remember adding Dazlad last week. And he is online as well, so hopefully he should be able to join as well. So we've got Hamilton that's just joined. We're just waiting for a few more, I think. And I think as soon as we've got everyone in the party, I think we can begin again. And I'm not going to give Jack the interviews. The last time I asked him to do interviews, he was like, So I won't.
Caught me off guard. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So I won't put
questions lined up.
I won't put you through that pain at the moment. Do we have Dazlad in? I don't think Dazlad is in. We'll see if we can get him in a minute. But first of all, let's speak to Hamilton. Another podium for you due to the disconnect from Jamie that puts you to another P2. That must have been quite a race for you, but a good result. Were you expecting that again?
No, as I said in the previous podium interview, I was expecting to score points and fight with ILR3 Button and steerage, but it didn't turn out that way. It was quite shocking qualifying, to be honest, with me and steerage's pace getting P4 and P6, I believe.
Yeah.
And that basically gave me a confidence booster into the race where I felt like I could fight Jamie in like the first few laps, but then I just fell out of DRS and Dazfell was gone. But a very surprising result. As soon as I saw Jamie disconnect, I was there just like, right, the hunt is on, I need to get it. And then I realised I was talking to George and he was there just like, yeah, he's disconnected. If he doesn't join back in time, he doesn't get any points. So I feel like this is redemption for what happened in Bahrain with the stupid pit limiter. So I'll definitely take another P2.
So what made you do mediums to hards instead of the other way around?
Well, I feel like track position's quite key, and I did my hard lap and it was pretty awful, to be honest. You have no gripping quality on the hards, so it's sort of obvious. But then the pits got a bit interesting with, I heard my teammate screaming in my ear, being all feisty with me because he was in quite an intense battle. And he wanted to pit on lap 12 when I was pitting, but then because he was screaming in my ear, cheers steerage, I ended up driving onto the grass in sector 2 and getting a corner cut in warning. So then I was there just like, I'm losing too much time, I have to pit in. But I didn't hear the end of that little section for good old time with steerage not happy with me and saying that I made him that far down the order.
And what's been the hardest bit about your race then?
I'll just say dirty air. Dirty air is just horrendous on the that long right-hand corner onto the back straight. Like getting Jamie and Dazfell's dirty air through there was horrendous, and then I was too far away to catch up to them. So I was running 4.7 wings, I believe. So I wasn't really that fast down the straight. But after that, I was just in no man's land. So it wasn't too difficult.
So were you just focusing on saving the tyres then towards the end?
Yeah, I was just in leaning all the traction zones and medium ERS and just chilling out, to be honest.
And the next race is Baku. We've all seen what happened in Baku last in season 4, where there's only a few cars finishing. How are you gonna cope? As you obviously dominated when there was obviously assists, but now you've got no assists. What's gonna be your new challenge there?
I feel like just learn the braking zone into the castle section. Like that's the most important. If I end up messing up once, it's game over, and it's the same for everyone else.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure near enough everyone's new to no line, so you better get the practice in for the castle section. Otherwise, it might be like a 2 driver finish next week.
Hope not. Please don't. If that happens, that's going to be a very hard race to commentate. Anyway, well done your P2. And Jack, a very good result in P3 as well. Obviously promoted to P3 after Jamie disconnect. How do you feel to get up that podium and that redemption in China?
I wasn't really expecting it, to be honest. I thought I just got P4 in the end, but P3 I'll take it. China isn't one of my best tracks, so any points I'll take. Because I qualified P9 in a bottled lap. I sent like 32.2s and 3s. And I qualified P9, so I just had to not get damaged and just do my own race. Because me and Streak were working together, like slipstreaming each other to get away from steerage.
I can tell that. How hard was it to try and keep the guys behind you and Street Gamer there? Because it must have been very difficult.
Yeah, because Street went for a move on steerage, and he went deep, and I just got the run on steerage into turn 1, and I just went for it, and I got the move done. Managed to keep ahead, and then we just pulled each other along to try and catch Hamilton, but it just wasn't enough because my tyres were going off.
Yes, and what was the plan to keep the same strategies you did in practice, or did you change at the last minute, considering what laps you've done?
No, I knew the strategy from the start because this is my third league race around China, and surprisingly the first one without rain. I was expecting rain and done some
I think we
rain
all were,
practice for
to
this
be
race.
honest. We all were. I think we said in the chat, I think we all expect rain, and look at that, there was no rain. So, were you relieved? Were you relieved that there was no rain?
In a way, yes, but I know some of the guys in here don't do wet practice or are fairly new to it, so I could have took advantage on them because I've done wet practice, but I'm happy it stayed dry and happy how the race turned out.
And are you going to keep that momentum going to Baku, or is Baku going to be like the survival for you then?
I don't like Baku whatsoever. I'm slow at Baku. Don't really know my braking points either, and I put it in the wall every time, so not very good.
At least I'm not the only one that does that, because I always bin it in the wall in the castle section, but there we go. So, yeah, so well done on your P3 there, and I think that's it with the questions. Jack, do you have any more to say?
Oh no, that was just a solid race for the first one I've watched, and yeah, it's just great battling, nice clean battling, well, from most people. We did see a couple of questionable things, including a brake check. I'm not going to mention who it was here, but yeah, well done.
And I think that is it for ILR3 this week. Make sure you join us same time next week for the Chinese Grand Prix. And don't forget, if you still want more ILR action, we've got ILR 1, 2 and 3 PS4 on Sunday, so make sure you do watch that. But until now, I've been JessGames95, Jack's been JSR Snakes, and we will see you same time next week at 7:30. Have a good evening, everybody, and good night.